Filtration and crystallization. Filtration is one of the physical processes that is used to separate the component of the mixture. Filtration is specifically used to separate insoluble solid from a liquid. In filtration, we have a conical flask, a funnel, and a filter paper which is folded and put inside the funnel, and then you have your mixture of the insoluble solid in a liquid and you pour it down the filter paper. The residue that will remain on the filter paper will be the insoluble solid. And then the liquid that passes through the funnel is going to be the filtrate, which is the filtered liquid. Crystallization. Crystallization is used to separate soluble solid from a liquid. In crystallization, there are several steps. The first step is heating your mixture on using evaporating dish, where some of the water or some of the solvent will evaporate, and then your solution will get concentrated. Once your solution gets concentrated, you need to notice until you start to find that there are crystals that forms on the sides of the evaporating dish. This is called the point of crystallization. Once you notice these crystals formation, then you take your evaporating dish out of the heat and you leave it to cool while more crystals will be formed from the solids. Once the solids are formed, then you can move on to step 3, where you filter the insoluble solid or you filter the crystals that have been formed, and the crystals will remain on the filter paper as the residue. You can use a mixture of these two methods, which are the filtration and crystallization, to separate the components of rock salt. Rock salt is a mixture of sand and salt. The sand is insoluble in water, while the salt which is sodium chloride, is soluble in water. So the first step to separate the component of rock salt is to grind the components and then you dissolve them in water. When you dissolve in water, the rock salt, the rock itself or the sand will not dissolve in water, while the sodium chloride will dissolve. So you filter, and when you filter, the residue will contain the insoluble sand, while the filtrate will contain the salt solution, which is sodium chloride dissolved in water. Now you need to separate the sodium chloride from water, and to do so, you will use crystallization in the same way as we explained, where you heat it, concentrated, crystals are formed, and then they are filtered.